Okay, hello there. Anyways, first let me set the stage with a few rules before I state my case. First, brain rot is in essence supposed to be humorous. Whether you find it funny or not is irrelevant. It's funny to them, and it's meant to be funny, so it's humor. Secondly, it's a form of art. I would argue it's a form of art. You can argue against that and say it's not art because thirdly, AI. Let's not talk about it, all right? I mean, we know about how most of brain rot is AI generated and it has some iffy content. Don't translate the descriptions, all of that. But for the sake of just discussing the main brain rots and teaching art movements, let's not talk about that, all right? You can't debate it in the comments, though. Anyways, let's answer the question, what is art? That question was a question many Dadaist painters proposed. What is art? It wasn't just a 5-year-old question, are we there yet? It was a legitimate question. See, they saw the world as inherently chaotic, random, and so their art reflected this belief. Fun fact, this is why Hitler didn't get into art school. He was trying to make paintings that were just very, very, very out of date. And don't worry, he did have a gallery where he exclusively got this kind of art just so he could make fun of it because he was so salty. Okay, no, back to the actual train of thought. Now, during that time, a lot of sculptures, like off the top of my head, I can list Armut's fountain, which is sort of a urinal turned 90 degrees. A lot of that was ugly, right? And it was supposed to be. They were trying to challenge the institutions and in some sense, the sort of traditional beauty. They wanted to challenge that too. Following Dadaism is this new movement called surrealism. Surrealism was a movement fueled by a mix of Dadaism, which was influenced by... Okay, every art movement influences the one following it, so we'll be here all day. But what is important is surrealism was fueled by Dadaism and Freud. Yes, Freud. Yes, we are still talking about brain rots. Your autoplay did not change the video. Stick with me. What am I talking about? We already talked about Hitler. What are we even talking about? Why did I bring up surrealism and Freud? This was right around the time when his popularity was soaring, right? And so he got very popular about his dream mind. You can do years of study on all of the stuff he did. But what art sort of focused on was his unfiltering unconscious, right? The idea that we had an unconscious of unfiltered thoughts that are our raw self and we can access it, right? And the way a lot of art went to access it was by writing, I don't know, without thinking, like you're just typing on a keyboard. I mean, they didn't have keyboards. They just write really quickly. I don't know. They'd paint brushstrokes without thinking of what the image would be. And this was all forms of surrealism. And I would say, if you've looked at the surrealism paintings of the time, some of them actually legitimately look like artistic brain rots. No disrespect, no disrespect. But we're still missing the first point, which is what? Do you remember? I can't hear you. I literally can't hear you. Okay, it's supposed to be humor. It's supposed to be funny, and surrealism in and of itself is not funny. It's funny to picture a guy painting a painting really intensely and sweating, and his buddy goes in the apartment and asks him what he's painting, and he's just like, I don't know, man, I'm gonna find out. Now, that, my friend, would be a form of surrealist humor, otherwise known as absurdist humor. Absurdist humor is classified by, well, absurdity. And it's supposed to not make sense. It's supposed to not make sense. It does a lot of non sequiturs. It's, why am I talking so fast? It doesn't follow classic rules. It's like the paramecia of humor. I'm not even gonna explain any further, all right? Google it. Figure it out. I'm kidding. It's like miscellaneous. But subscribe if you got that reference, though. But it would be really funny if one of you just paused the video when I said I'm not going to explain paramecia, looked it up on the internet, said, I'm going to figure it out, and then figured it out, read up on what a paramecia was, figured out it just basically meant miscellaneous, and then went back to the video, and then it's just I explained it 2 seconds later. Now, one of its forms is this absurdity, right? This almost nonsensical humor, and now this will be opinion. So stay tuned. What is funnier than watching a bunch of rabid kids just scream a number, nonsensically laughing while doing so in a specific way? It makes no sense. It's so stupid. It doesn't even sequentially follow whatever they were doing. What was the reason they said it? It's just absurd. There is no reason. Now, I like absurd, right? I like it. And absurd was probably what they thought of Picasso when instead of using his genius to paint these realistic planes, he decided to challenge space altogether and just do cubist paintings where there was no space. Figure it out. I mean, it worked out for him. He's hailed as a genius, and he's like the pioneer of a unique art movement, which is even cooler. And he's like one of the two artists that everyone knows. Now, speaking of Picasso and speaking of art movements, every art movement, let's just set the rules really quickly, all right, is in essence supposed to either build upon or challenge the previous artistic movement, right? And sometimes both. I think Brainrot's doing both. I think it challenges humor. What is funny? What is supposed to be humorous? Is humor supposed to have a punchline? Is it supposed to be funny by subverting expectations? Or is the joke a bunch of adults scrambling to understand the meaningless ramblings of children so they can pretend to hold on to their youth, desperately chasing something that they will never catch up to, watching it as it slowly but surely disappears along the horizon? Or is the joke the children laughing at meaningless jargon, as I said before? Or is the joke a mix? Or is there a punchline I simply don't get? Or maybe there was no joke. People are just laughing at meaningless things. Or maybe it's some carnal instinct in mankind to be part of a group, and this, in essence, is what true humor is. To be with people, a part of a community, laughing with friends. Maybe that's what humor is. Or maybe it's none of those things, and I've just spent a whole lot of time overthinking for nothing. Oh, come on!